Hello and welcome back to the TV show. Today I'm going to be reforming the Qing Empire as Manchuria. I'm also going to be showing you the easiest and quickest way to get the achievement, The Dragon Has Swallowed the Sun. So let's get started. New game, January 1st, 1936. We're of course going to be playing as Manchuria. Real quick, you might be wondering why my map might look different or why some of the country names are different. That is because I'm running two mods that are Iron Man compatible. One of them is the FPS map mod, which just makes the map look a bit different. It claims to speed up the game, but I don't know about that. The other mod is going to be Satisfying Country and Puppets name. It just changes the names of some puppets and some countries. Gives a little bit of variety after about 3k hours. It's going to be regular difficulty, Iron Man mode on, of course. Our first focus is going to be pacify the countryside. For research, we're going to get early submarine hull, as well as basic torpedoes. We're going to be building just dockyards along our ocean side. So we have 3 national spirits for our country. One of them is low legitimacy. This is kind of devastating for us, but we'll be able to fix it through our focus tree. It gives us a negative 50% stability as well as a negative 50% war support. Next is the Quantung Veto, which is also pretty bad. That's a 25% cost to political advisors, economy laws, trade laws, and conscription laws. But we'll also be able to remove this a little later on through our focus tree. And final national spirit is banditry, which gives us another negative 10% stability and negative 10% war support. And same thing as the other two, we'll be able to remove this through our focus tree. Our leader has no buffs or debuffs, just AI modifiers. Next we're going to be doing trade delegation. So these bandit raids will happen roughly every 150 days, I don't remember the exact amount, and there's a 25% chance that either your arms factory, civilian factory, or infrastructure will be damaged, and then another 25% chance that nothing will happen, but generally something does. This is again another thing that you can stop from happening via your focus tree. Now that trade delegation is done, we're going to be doing assertiveness. This is going to bring us up from a puppet to a imperial subject of Japan. Now that we have submarines done, we're going to get transport ships so that we can do naval invasions. And the bandits have destroyed one of our infrastructure. This is okay. While we technically don't have factories to repair it, it's fine. And 1936 submarine hull. We're going to request control of the railways. This is going to give us a bunch of infrastructure, but it also gives us a decision, divert machine tooling, which gives us a factory every 75 days, I believe. Now at this point, you have 2 choices. You can staff the court with Manchus, which is going to give you a base stability plus 10, which is nice. If you staff the court with Manchus, you can expand the Imperial Guard, which gives you 4 units of 7 infantry and 2 artillery, which is pretty good. And it will give you 4 military factories, which is really good. Or, if you go 5 equal peoples, you can get the White Russian Advisors, which gives you a little bit of division attack on core territory and defense, as well as some recovery rate. And the 5 peoples army, which allows you to spawn in 7 infantry divisions with 3 infantry battalions each, which is not very good. And it gives us a 2% boost to our recruitable population, something we really don't need. It allows us to get the empowered legislative council, which is going to give us 150 political power, but also boost that low legitimacy by 10% for both stability and war support. Personally, I highly recommend that you staff the court with Manchus. It's just worth it more overall for those military factories, and those, I believe it's 20 wits. And then just build a bunch of these 6 wits. We're going to need 5 armies completely full. Now that transport ship is done, I'm going to get truck. And we're going to get basic machine tools. So Japan wants to give us a bunch of guns. They're going to do this sometimes. It works early game, but then they'll start canceling later game. Since we don't have any convoys, what we're going to do is we're just going to go right back and we're going to ask Japan if they'll add convoys to that lease. And they'll always say yes. This is how we're going to build our convoys. And we're going to divert machine tools. Every 90 days, we'll get a civilian factory. I believe we can do this 4 times. Next, we're going to bolster nationalism. This is going to give us a attack bonus against Japan, of 10+%, defense bonus of 10+%. It's going to also allow us to recruit the bandit remnants, and it's going to modify low legitimacy by stability +10 and war support +10. I'm going to make 6 armies. I'm going to be putting them on all of my borders that along with Japan, and I'm going to have one of those prepared to navally invade Japan. There's this weird bug that when you're building front lines with your neighbors, if that front line goes into another country, such as China near Beijing, or in the Russian state that borders Korea, just make sure that these front lines don't touch a neutral country's borders. Otherwise, it'll mess up your troop deployment. As soon as you can, just deploy these troops. We're going to need a lot of them. Basic machine tools is done, so now I'm going to get construction 1. And we're going to purge the General Affairs Council. This is going to unlock decisions for preparing to seize Japanese armed depots, which is overpowered. It's going to give us 10% stability, and it's going to remove Guantang Veto. And I'm just going to recruit all of these bandits so that this bandit raids will now end. This also gives us, this is going to give us 9 cavalry divisions. And divert machine tools once again. Because I'm already anticipating having a lack of generals when this war happens, in the war with China, I'm going to now start recruiting officers and promoting them to be generals. Japan is just about to invade China. Next focus we're going to do is going to be expand the Imperial Guards. This is going to give us those 4 units of 7 infantry and 2 artillery. A little trick that you can do when leasing with Japan is buy a bunch of steel from a country that requires convoys to ship to you. Max out on that so you'll be lacking in convoys, and then just ask Japan for more. Just make sure to afterwards cancel that steel because you don't need it and you might want those factories back. Now we're going to do the local arms. We're going to get 4 military factories from this. I'm also going to get a war industrialist so I can make dockyards a little faster. And improve machine tools. Next I'm going to do support equipment. Japan wants to send us a bunch of rifles. This is very nice of them. Reform the civil services to get that stability boost of 10%. Gonna divert machine tooling. And we're going to get a naval specialist so we can start getting daily XP for naval so that we can build some submarines. Japan has cancelled the Lend Lease. Next, we're going to expand the textile industry. This is going to give us 2 civilian factories. We're going to design a very cheap submarine. We'll only need a few of these. Support equipment is done. We're going to get electronic mechanical engineering. And I'm going to train 5 more of these Imperial Guards divisions. And let's prepare to see some Japanese arms. So far, this is going to give us 20,000 rifles, and this is going to give Japan a debuff of negative 10% when fighting against us for 60 days. Now we're going to invite Japanese settlers. This is going to add local population of not too much, to be honest, but it is going to give us a few civilian factories, which is really important for us, because our economy is struggling. Now that electrical mechanical engineering is done, I'm going to get radio. And I'm going to get Law University so I can get another research slot, and we're going to do prepare to seize the Japanese arms depots once again. We're going to commandeer some civilian trains at the expense of our stability. Going to add an admiral onto our very tiny fleet. And we're just going to cover these 2 ocean tiles in the Yellow Sea and the Chinese Sea. Going to prepare a naval invasion for lower Japan around Nagasaki. This is my favorite place to navally invade. Now that Law University is done, we're actually going to get invite foreign investors. This is going to give us a couple of off-map civilian factories. And we're going to prepare to seize Japanese armed depots again. As you can see, the boost has gone up. Now we're getting 50 light tanks and 5,000 more rifles. Excavation 1 is done, so we're going to get Construction 2. Gonna exercise my entire army. I don't really have the rifles for it, but I do need my army to be good. We're gonna get Gregory here. He's going to kind of ruin our stability by -5%. He is gonna kind of lower our political power gain by -5%, but he gives us a attacking division speed of 10%. He gives us attack against major countries 15%. We're going to remove our advisor just because we don't really need him anymore. And I could use that command power to get some field marshals. Gonna have a collaboration with the Japanese. Really, we're just trying to get investing into shipbuilding so we can get a few more dockyards. Gonna be building some military factories after these dockyards finish up. Gonna prepare to seize some more Japanese depots. This is gonna add some fighters and some casks into our registry. We're also gonna do mission to Germany. And we're gonna get dispersed industry too. I don't know why I even click on this. Japan always just cancels it now. Excavation 2. And we're gonna give Falkhausen some citizenship. We're gonna get some closer ties with Germany. This is gonna give us 2 off-mat civilians factories. And we're gonna actually hire Falkenhausen to be our chief of armies. I'm also gonna get computing machine so that we can get a little faster research speed. Gonna add some more infantry onto this Bubing Shi. Gonna make it a 10 width from a 6 width. We are negative 26,000 guns. That is fine. I'm now gonna get Chinese general staff. This is going to add a +1 planning skill for every army leader that we currently have, and every future general that we have will have +1 planning skill. And now I'm going to get advanced machine tools. And whenever Germany goes to war with Poland, when World War II kicks off, it's around this time that I like to start independence war. I'm gonna go war economy, limited conscription, gonna commandeer some more civilian trains, now we're gonna get fuel refining 1. When you have about 5 days left in your focus for independence war, which will automatically put you in a war with Japan, that's when you should launch your naval invasion. One thing that I need to add about your naval invasion is make sure, and this is incredibly important, that you do not have it landing on a port. Normally, you should, but if you do, those troops will automatically cancel their assault and will head right back, and you won't have those troops to invade with. If they land on just any random other Japanese tile, then they will actually land. And the war has happened. Our next focus is going to be reclaim the empire. This is going to give us cores on all of China. You will get caught by the Japanese Navy. That's fine. You are going to lose a lot of equipment and men. That's not as fine, but it is what it is. Have all of your divisions march straight into China. Kicking the Japanese out of China is fairly easy. The hard part is kicking them out of China, plus beating Japanese on their own soil. And for Korea, just run down to the ports. You want to very quickly choke out the Japanese as fast as you can. Our naval invasion is currently getting blocked by the Japanese Navy. Oof. But it's fine because we're still going to land. Encircle if you can. Our troops are very not good, but the Japanese currently have a major debuff. Immediately start trying to take the port in Nagasaki. And you want to secure the tile that's across the strait so that the Japanese can't push all their troops down and wipe you out before you can get a foothold in Japan. And now that we are in Japan, we're going to execute the plan. Just kind of do what you can. Fighting Japan is very, very difficult. It's a lot of back and forth. They don't have a lot of troops, but on the flip side, your troops are really, really bad, and they're getting destroyed by CAS. You don't have air supremacy. You have no AA, and worst of all, your convoys are getting sunk every day by Japanese submarines. You're going to lose a lot of war support, and you're going to lose a lot of stability because of this. Once you take this little province, then just put them onto a defense order, and we're going to guard all of our ports, and some of the ones in China. Just try to rush as hard and fast as you can. We're going to get improved machine computing. Right now you caught the Japanese with their pants down, but again, your troops are just really, really bad. Right now we can just hope to outmaneuver them because we do have more divisions than they do. We're going to use those few planes that we got from executing the plan, and we're going to go mass assault doctrine. Boost relations with the Soviet Union, Germany, and Italy. Then you can ask for lend-lease from them, and they will send you guns. Korea is almost all cleaned up. Once it is, then we'll just move all of our forces over from Korea into Japan. We barely have the Japanese contained currently. Going to go disperse 3. Now request guns from Germany, Italy, and the Soviet Union. They should all say yes, as long as the relations are above 70%. So we'll get 4,000 guns from Italy, 4,000 guns from Russia, and 8,000 from Germany. Gonna continue the conquest of North Japan. I have the Japanese currently stuck inside the Tokyo pocket. While again, the Japanese don't have a lot of troops, their men are just so much better than mine. Imperial Divinity is done. We're going to do Imperial University. This is going to give us another research slot. Japan is so close to capitulating, but the problem is again, their troops are just so much better than mine. Thank you, Soviet Union. Thank you, Germany. Thank you, Italy. And strikes. That is unfortunate. There we go, Tokyo is ours. They will capitulate in less than 24 hours. So yeah, the war with Japan is just war of endurance. It's just war of trying to have more divisions than them. You don't have the industry to beat them. You just don't. So you have to rely on numbers. And speaking of numbers, our war score is not the best. We got around 37%. China has 52. So what we're going to do is we're just going to puppet as much of China as we can. Now, I want to say this and I want to be very clear. Annex Japan first. I did not in this video. I already have this achievement, so I completely forgot that you need to. But you need to have Japan annexed in order to get the Dragon Swallowed the Sun achievement before you join the German faction. And we still have widespread strikes. This is devastating to our economy currently. I'm going to offer vassalization. This is going to give a bunch of events to the Chinese warlords, everyone but China the Republic and China the Communist. I don't believe it's 50-50 if they're going to say yes, but you will get more than half to say yes. If you don't, that's fine. I'm also going to update this division. I'm going to make it a 21 width with a support artillery and 1 artillery division. It's a little expensive, but we'll be able to afford it. Going to switch over all of my divisions, including my 10 Imperial Guard divisions. Nice, so the widespread strikes are now gone. We get a little bit of stability. And just build some more military factories. Now we're going to purchase some tanks from Germany. Let's add a few factories on truck so that we get better logistics when fighting in China. And looks like the the Chinese Soviet Republic is actually declared war on China. You have two choices here. You can join that war and defeat the Chinese Soviet Republic, or you can do what I did and you can let them join the Soviets. Instead, I decided to actually join the war against the Republic of China by declaring war on the Yunnan clique, which will then very quickly call on the Republic of China. We're going to have a naval invasion set up from Lower Japan to land in Shanghai. We're going to have all the Guanzi divisions, which actually ends up being around 48 divisions, 2 full armies. We're going to have them on the border with China. They're more going to be used for a distraction. Our divisions are better than them, but China will rush down all of their troops to that border. But it's fine, we have to go to war with Russia anyways if we want to take Mongolia. Not the achievement, it's not for an achievement, it's just because I want to reclaim all my former territory. If you force attack, you'll be able to push the Chinese troops off the Shanghai port pretty easily. The war with China is not the hardest. Just keep marching. You can pretty much just do a field marshal assault. Manpower is just a number at this point. At this point, you can kind of research whatever you want, but I did start researching airplanes or airframes. Honestly, it doesn't even really matter. Now we're going to move the capital focus, which is going to move our capital over to Beijing. I'm not going to do any focus, I'm just going to hold it for a bit. And we are so close to capitulating China. Fighting in these mountains is just a pain. Just keep rotating in your attacks, eventually you'll be able to push all the Chinese troops off. And there we go, annex everything. Might as well take the Chinese fleet as well. Again, make sure before you join any faction that you annex Japan. You need to annex Japan at this point. So I'm going to join the Germans, and I don't know what happened here. I don't understand this. I decided to move my fleet to the central Mediterranean and have them patrol. They shouldn't be able to. I don't understand it. I don't have fleet Axis docking rights from any of the allies. I only have it from the Axis powers, and somehow I'm able to move my fleet. I tested this 3 or 4 times. You should be able to also. So just move your entire fleet again over to the English Channel and they'll move over there. And again, you don't really need to go to war with the Allies. I just want to because I want to take Hong Kong, I want to take Macau, and I want to take whatever that Chinese one is. I'm going to plan a naval invasion from German-occupied France into Dover. Dover is my favorite place to land whenever you're landing in the English Channel. Also make sure you place some divisions along the border with India. Even if you didn't, they wouldn't be able to capitulate you because the AI has a hard time marching through China, but might as well just put some divisions on the border. Just going to be puppet annexing Xinjiang. Again, please make sure that you puppet annex Japan before joining the Axis, otherwise you won't get the Dragon Swallow the Sun achievement. Going to justify a war goal on Free France for my core territory. This is going to give a 20-day long war goal. I have my spies on the United Kingdom and declare war. This will call the rest of the allies in. And unfortunately, I don't have any naval supremacy. My navy just is not big enough. Little hint, move over to the eastern North Sea. You should be able to get naval supremacy fairly easy up there. And just land in the middle of the UK. I'm going to be calling in the Guangxi clique. I like to use these treaty ports as tiny encirclements. Our naval invasion is off. Again, this does take a few months, or it might shoot off immediately. As long as you have a portion of Japan's fleet, you should get some naval supremacy. As you can see here, though, I actually got it because the Germans decided to pass by. I am going to justify a war goal and declare war on Portugal so I can get Macau. And the British have been defeated. Very first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to take these treaty ports because I don't want to have to fight over them. I'm going to take Southeast Asia, and I'm going to puppet the British Raj. I did get the Malay state, which is fine. Next, I'm going to justify a war goal on Tibet. Again, this isn't actually one of your cores, so you don't need this for any achievement. I'm just trying to recreate China. Since we're still actually at war with Ethiopia, they created the African People's Republic, or the African Union. Yeah, they created the African Union, which means that they are now a major power. So now we can get a bunch of really cheap and free war goals. Place your army on the border of Tibet. It's pretty easy. You can also move over my main army to the German-Soviet border. We're going to help the Germans defeat the Soviets. Declare war on Tibet, justify a war goal on Nepal. And Tibet has capitulated. Because the Italians are doing really poorly in Africa, we're actually going to move over some of our amazing divisions and we'll very quickly defeat Ethiopia. Now that the war goal in Nepal is done, we're going to declare war and quickly destroy them. And justify war goal on Bhutan. And Nepal has capitulated, Bhutan will fall very quickly as well. We're also going to justify a war goal on the Chinese Soviet Republic. This is going to give us a 10-day war goal, which will last forever because it's for our core territory. Declare war on them. Fighting in the mountains suck. It just does. Our troops are a little bit better than the Chinese communists, but it's still going to be rough. Encircle, march towards their capital of Yan'an. And capitulate them. These Soviets are very, very, very close to capitulation, and so are the Mongolians. There we go, the war is over. First thing we're going to do is take our core territory. We're going to annex Mongolian People's Republic, Tanatuva, and we're going to take the Soviet Manchuria. These states in the east of Russia are very, very cheap. They make your country look bigger, but they have almost no substance. That's why I'm able to take these for almost nothing, even though Germany did 90% of the war. And this is what the world looks like. I'm going to very quickly annex Shaanxi, just give them everything of mine. I'm going to do a war goal on Siam. I just want to finish them. Own all or most of Southeast Asia. Annex Shaanxi. And now I'm going to claim the Mandate of Heaven. The mandate has been claimed, gives us a new color, gives us a new name. Gives our leader a nice little hat. Oh yeah, the war with Siam, it's easy. Just walk in. I don't know what happened here. The Axis for some reason dissolved. Germany left, as did many other countries. I became the de facto leader of the Axis. Very few have remained, such as the Russian state, which was for some reason released by Germany. Not entirely sure what happened, but and I'm just going to annex all of it. And now in my game, I'm going to annex Japan. Again, please don't do my mistake. Annex Japan before you go to war, before you join the German faction, before you join the Axis. You need to have Japan fully annexed. I cannot stress this enough. Japan has been annexed. We own all of their territory. We own all of China. We own India. We own most of Southeast Asia. And we own a good chunk of Russia. Very quickly, I just want to thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate all the kind words that you guys have said. I appreciate all the watch hours. I appreciate everything. I'm going to try to post consistently at least once a week. If you have any video suggestions or paths that you want to see done, let me know. My next one is actually going to be Bulgaria into the Balkan Federation. That's one of my favorite paths. A lot of people think it's difficult, but it's very easy actually. Again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.